All right, we are looking into the chat right now, but if not, just drop it in the Q&A section. So Pamela, the 12-week coaching program, it will start in August. I believe the first AI session is August 12th. So that's a bonus month. And the actual sessions will start right after Labor Day in September. So really, when we map this all out, our goal is August is generally a slower month for more people. So it's a really good opportunity to learn something new. So ultimately optimizing time and profit. So when you think about AI, it is having something that has 150 IQ in every different job field in the world. So this is really a way, if you're just an individual agent or whether you have a team or your team member, it's like one person with AI, I find is equivalent to the productivity of 3 to 5 different people. Okay. So when somebody wants a ridiculous price for a listing, so this is what coaching actually looks like. So what I hear you saying is that you want to maximize the equity in your home. That's correct? Yes. And you're saying since we have the best marketing plan that will get you the most buyers, you think we could set a record price? Yes. So then this is where you refer back to the sharing the market concept. It's like, look, as you had said, homes in your neighborhood sell in this many days at this price in this condition, correct? So I'm happy to try to set a record, and is it agreeable that we will improve the price to blank after this many days if we don't get an offer that's acceptable to you? Does that make sense, Hannah? Right? It's all about how to effectively communicate with people. If there's one thing that I can press on all of you through our trainings is your skill of communication is the most valuable thing you will ever have in this business. Because all of the clients, all of the closings, all of the things you want come in the beginning from effectively communicating what you have to offer in the context of what the client wants. So for those of you who are hopping on early, I offered a little bit of ask me anything, and feel free to drop in the Q&A section any questions you have. Someone had a question about our program, another person had a question about an objection. And make sure you stay on till the end. I have some really cool surprises to share with you today. So it's 12 o'clock. We'll give everyone 2 minutes and we'll get started.
No one told us to stop it. Call us unrealistic. But suddenly you're 18. Go to college with a plan B. Why You want us to risky. Live for weekends and whiskey. We are at these big ideas. One day they're replaced with fear. How did we get here? Darling, don't quit your daydream. It's your life that you're making. It ain't big enough if it doesn't scare the hell out of you. If it makes you nervous, it's probably worth it. Why save it for sleep when you could be living your day? Everyone we tables, she has books of an angel. Out of money, power. She always sings in the shower. All these things we
Good morning and good afternoon for those of you on the East Coast. And Alvarez, always excited to hear today. And thank you all for tuning in over the last several days. Just the outreach, the emails, the text has been really fulfilling in the sense that, look, our goal is ultimately to serve you. So we always like to save, as they say, the best for last. So make sure you tune in till the end. We have some great surprises and things that we've been working on for you for months that are finally coming to life. So let's get started. Let me just share my screen. All right. Perfect. All right, so welcome. It is our final session today, and I'd like to start off with, for some of us, this is the end, and for a lot of you, this is going to be a new beginning. And I'd like to impress upon you, never settle. Work with people who know their shit. Look for inspiration everywhere. Surround yourself with people who make you smarter, even if there's friction and it makes you uncomfortable. Always do what's right. Now, the reason I chose this is I believe as people, we should never settle on ourselves. Meaning there's inspiration, there's people, there's possibility, and there's opportunities every single place we go. So surrounding yourself in the right community will make you smarter. You will feel friction because anything you do new, your brain is programmed that way. And the sooner you understand it, you'll control your brain and your brain will control you. And when I say always do what's right for you by making the right investments in yourself, the same exact way you have in being here. Now, I want to share with you, communication is wealth. You know, earlier, I'm going to pop this open really quick. It was Hannah had asked, hey, you keep saying be agreeable with a new client. What do you do when a new client wants an outrageous number for a listing? I've always shown comps, but wondering if you do anything because being egregious and outrageous price would be a disservice to us. Thank you. So I walked her through a scenario. You can see it says, thank you, I love it. It totally makes sense. See, what I want to share with you today is the most valuable skill that you have is communication. Whether it's in a personal relationship, a professional relationship, your ability to effectively communicate with your clients is the source of all of your business. If you become the best effective communicator, you will be wealthy. Remember, for every client you have, there's generally a pitch and a conversation that has to be had. If something isn't going well, there has to be a conversation that has to be had, right? So I want you to embed this concept in your brain automatically without thinking right now that for today and every day in my life forward, communication is wealth. Now, think about this. If you can communicate effectively, you'll be able to do the new listing presentation and understand the buyer's commission conversation, right? Conversation is communication. So let's go through this in a nutshell. Some of you that might have tuned in, it's the last day. My name is Chirag Shah. And when you look at me, you might see this well-polished individual today that is an exclusive Compass coach. I have 17,000 hours of coaching entrepreneurs and business owners. I was a real estate agent just like you for 14 years of my life. I got my license when I was 23 years old. Pretty crazy, right? So I've been going on this journey of personal development and professional growth over almost the last 2 decades. Compass had acquired my company and I worked as a director of coaching and training. And ultimately, the thing that makes us as a company most excited is helping clients like yourselves build curated businesses that fit into their life. See, when you got into this business, you got into it for freedom, flexibility, and limitless income. Do you really feel free? Do you really feel like you have flexibility? And for some and some not, do you have limitless income potential? The answer for many of us is no. So we believe that a business could be run like a business, and I believe in all of you. And what's really interesting is, August 17th is coming up. Someone said yesterday they had during your session a big training on the Compass rule changes. If you're like Ann Alvarez and several of our clients on here today, we've been talking about this, how to survive, as they say, survive, right? How to effectively continue to grow your business on August 17th and beyond, which I believe is the greatest opportunity you ever have. So here's the truth. Why do I do what I do unapologetically? When you know for a fact through the experiences of thousands of people over the last 6 years, how well this system works when you work, you don't feel bad about sharing it with people. Actually, as an educator, your goal is to get the information in front of as many people as possible. Every person deserves to have a great business and a great life. And my personal growth, everything I am today is through personal and professional development. I have had a business coach for the last 20 years. I have a coach that helps me with my workout nutrition. I have a marketing coach. I have an executive coach, right? So those are 3 different people that I'm currently working with today. The best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. So I'm passionate, I'm purposeful in talking about all of the things that I know you can become if you do the work. See, you can choose the changes for yourself or the world can choose them for you. And what's going to be really interesting is when August 17th comes, the world will split. There are a lot of people that are not like the 300 plus of you here today looking to better yourselves, better your clients' experience. You all are special people in the world that have a special purpose. I undoubtedly believe that every person should use a real estate agent when buying a home. If I had to pay the agent I work with here in Westport, Connecticut, $30,000, I would do it. And depending on who you talk to, they can tell you I'm one of the best real estate coaches in the world. I sold real estate. I work with real estate agents. I can work in any market, but I still need an agent, right? And this is what I do professionally. Now, think about the average buyer. The world needs you, and I'll go back to that same concept. Communication is wealth. If you can't effectively communicate what you offer in the context of what somebody wants, then, oh wow, I got an echo. Then you're going to be able to get clients to work with you. But if you're not able to share what you want, share what you do in the context of what they want, then ultimately they're going to lose out, and so are you. So I want you to think about this. The goal is if you could go into every listing presentation confident that you can serve your client and show what you do authentically and secure more listings, what does that feel like? Think about that and own that feeling. Touch it, smell it, see it, believe it. You know that pitch you go on and you're in the car like this after like, yeah, I got it. You feel so good. What if it could feel like that every single time? Will you commit to doing the work to close more deals? It is a simple question. And if you are here today, I know the answer is yes. Now, let's go through number 1, pre-qualifying. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to implement the 7 keys of effective conversations. Remember, and I just wanted you to all take a step back. Like let's, they say when you're in the picture, you can't see the frame. Like, let's take a step back. If somebody's moving, there is a reason they're moving. There's something they're excited about happening. That makes somebody pick up a phone, send an email, ask someone for a recommendation of a real estate professional. Now, when we hear this, oh, they want to sell their house. Here's how I can do this for you. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And in the person's mind, the whole time they're thinking, wait a second, like, what about me, right? And if you really take one step deeper, now you're going into somebody's house. We can stage your house, we can use concierge, we got pictures, we have videos, we have all these different things. And before you know it, let's be realistic, right? Let's take all the pictures down, all the magnets off the fridge, let's declutter the countertops, right? All of those things. Now, all of a sudden, before you know it, the people are moving, and what they feel in their home is not even their home. It's gone. And we're spending the whole time talking about what we can do for them. Like, I want you to think. So if you put yourself in the seller's position, how important is it to put your tonality like this? Really to dig deep to understand them, who they are, what they're doing, why it's important to them, where they want to go, what are their expectations of an agent? How can you connect with them on a deeper level? Now, today, the little shift in the training we're going to make is I'm going to put my coaching hat on. We're going to get really tactical today, right? So when we talk about pre-qualifying, ideally, you should do this before you go in the home, right? Remember, how it starts is how it goes. And if how it goes in the beginning is where are you going? How soon do you want to be there? The worst question to ask, if you were looking at your house in the eyes of a buyer, would you rate it 1 to 10? Jesus, for God's sakes, like this is their home. They chose every single thing in there. In their mind, it's a 10. You want to talk about being out of rapport? That's it. So when you go in and you want to pre-qualify, tonality matters, dig deep, and everyone needs a pre-qualifying process, right? We have one that we use with our clients that really gets them to the 5 drivers of human decision. And we're able to take that and effectively use it throughout the entire presentation. We're tying everything back to what the people want. So whether you use our process, your process, you need a process. Now, this is the most important part, right? So if you look at modern medicine, it's treat the symptom, not cure the cause, right? So if you're looking at your presentations, you need to focus on the cure the cause concept, right? Because if things keep happening, you don't want to go through what's called crisis care. Every time there's a problem, you fix something. So what would it feel like if you knew you could connect with all of your clients and you knew exactly what they wanted and they would be excited to hire you? Now think about that. You know how easy the opportunity is to go into any house in 7 minutes or less and authentically connect with the people in a way that they feel seen, heard, understood, and then you're able just to tailor your pitch to that specific person? Will you commit to role playing and mastering the skill? If it is, in the Q&A button, hit yes. Raise your hand, make the commitment. Why do we have you hit the buttons? Because when you take inspired action and you make an actual commitment, your brain is now associating something positive to something new that's getting you what you want. This is how you program yourself during trainings to actually implement it. See, because if your brain looks at something that's hard, it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, it's not tied to actually getting you what you want, it makes it much harder to access. So this is where all listing presentations go wrong. All of them. Now, look, the idea that I could teach you the entire listing presentation in an hour is crazy. It's the most valuable skill you arguably have as an agent. So we picked the most important parts and we're going to go through those today. And for those of you who continue forward, we have this all mapped out for you. But this is what I call the difference that makes a difference. Is it a home tour or a home trap? Now, we walk into somebody's home, and in my opinion, this is where it all goes bad. We walk around the home. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, for having us here today. Where would you like to sit? Or where could I put my stuff down? The kitchen table, the living room. And then there always gets to a place, oh, would you like to see our home? Yeah, that's great. So now I'm walking around the house. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is great. What a beautiful update. Essentially, what do you spend the entire time doing? Over complimenting them on their home. And then, did you ever think what the seller is doing? The seller is trying to sell you on their price. You're going to sell them or they're going to sell you. I'm going to say this again. This is why the home tour for most agents is the trap. It is the place where all the friction, all the challenges come when you get to price. Because if I've walked you around my house and you've told me how great it is and how amazing it is and how buyers are going to love it, then I think somebody's going to pay a premium for it, right? We're not telling you to disagree and be combative. I'm telling you to be strategic, right? Coaching is all about having a strategy, a plan, and a simple way to execute it. Now, let's do a little role reversal. This is your opportunity to stand out. So I want you to all listen really carefully and let's see who can pick up on what we're doing here. Number one, you're going to walk in the house. You need to quickly take a scan, right? If you're looking at an updated home, you need to pick up on at least 2 or 3 things that they've done that you know they're going to be excited about. So say we're in my office here, right? Someone was walking here, they're selling my office. The big shrug, it's really incredible. Just the conference room, the podcast studio, and all of this modern build out that you did. Now, would it be okay if I asked you while we walked around and you toured me around some really important questions so we could market and position your home most effectively to the ideal buyer? Would it be okay if I asked you a few really important questions so that we could position and market your home to the ideal buyer? Now, in the Q&A section, drop in what you think I just did right there. This literally will change your entire listing, presentation, and client experience every time. Go ahead, we'll wait for a couple people to drop in. And if you have no idea and there are no comments, it means you don't realize what happened, and that's 100% okay too. Gave them control by asking if it was okay. Yep, 100%. When you say, would it be okay? The other party feels like they're in control. Anybody else? Directing the conversation involved this question. Can you repeat the script? Would it be okay if I asked you a few really important questions so we can most effectively position and market your home to the ideal buyer? Okay. There's the end of our Zach Morris TV timeout. We'll go back to reality. See, the first thing that I'm doing there is setting myself up to be different. Right? Okay, here's a couple more just came in. The person in control is asking the questions. Yes. You took control of the dialogue by the agenda, framing the conversation. Danielle, you cheated because you're in our coaching every day, and I'm controlling the outcome. So essentially, what I really want to do is this. I want to make myself stand out, right? The biggest thing that I think and believe is going to come out of this whole NAR settlement is your service and experience need to be in alignment with the money that people pay, right? So we are not order takers. We are strategic luxury agents that provide luxury experiences. So as soon as I do this, what do you think the seller is going to say? Okay, that sounds great, right? Remember the 7 keys to effective conversations. Number 2, the person asking the questions controls the conversations. And number 3 and number 4, always be in agreement with the client, always be in their benefit, We have given them the nugget of acknowledging the great things they did. Now, when I walk around the house, do you know what I'm asking them? So let me ask you a question. If we went back to the beginning, what made you purchase this home? Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Amazing. Let me just take a note of that. Next one is, what do you love most about your home? Oh, what do you love about that? Tell me more about that. Then the next one is, what is your favorite room in the house and why? Oh, I love this room. Hey, let's go take a look at it. Okay, this is amazing. What in this room, what is your favorite experience you have in this room? Tell me more about that. What do you love most about its location? What was one thing about the house that you didn't know about that you love the most now today? Tell me about what you love about your home and connection with the community. Do you see what's happening there? You're getting the person to talk about every single thing that they love in their house, as opposed to going in their house and telling them how they live is wrong. Now, there's different dialogues that you can do to understand if your client wants to do updates or keep the home in the condition that there is, right? If you imply that if you implement this one simple strategy, it will change your entire business, guaranteed. So you have to, so you can't see, I don't know if you could see everyone else's Q&A. So the chat is disabled. You just have to put the Q&A and us and our team can see it. Now, this goes from being in a position where you're behind, trying to catch up and trying to figure out, well, how do I manage this situation? I want to be really nice and I want to compliment them all their stuff so they like me. No, when you do this process, the clients will respect you. It is a big difference. See, over rapporting with clients and trying to get them just to like you, it is really a cover up that I don't know how to effectively sell. And this is selling, right? Having effective conversations, helping other people get what they want. So at the end of this part of touring the home before you sat down, how do you think your clients really feel? They feel good. They've literally gone down memory lane from the time that they bought the house to the things they love most to sharing their favorite experiences. And my favorite question is, what is your favorite memory living in the home and why? Now, all of these things are actually really relevant, right? In our AI course, we'll tell you how to take all of these things and put them into ChatGPT and write compelling property descriptions that will draw the ideal buyer. Remember, the days of, hey, we're looking for, hold on, how do I phrase this? No one wakes up in the morning thinking, hey, honey, let's go buy that Center Hall Colonial on a tree-lined street that says like old homes with street with bugs, right? Like it doesn't work that way. You know, people are looking for experiences. Remember what we said yesterday, right? A home is where you build memories. A community is where your life happens. How do you live your best lifestyle in Westport, Connecticut? So here's my question now. What would it feel like? Again, we're anchoring emotions to positive outcomes. If you were able to set yourself apart from every other agent and be able to exceed the expectations on every listing appointment, will you commit to setting yourself up for success? There's over 350 people in here. Is there anyone that can tell me that going through this process would not yield a better outcome for themselves and their clients? Anybody? Look, the benefit of working with only Compass agents is we know what's working now, right? We know our clients do these things. We know it's successful as the stories that we shared. We want to make sure now that you're able to implement what you learned, right? Education without implementation is entertainment. Right? I can make you smile. I can make you laugh. I can really make you have some emotional thoughts. But really what I care about the most is when you leave here that you're able to take action. Now, the Compass advantage. Look, in setting yourself apart, the first fundamental thing that you have to know is as a Compass agent, you quantifiably can create more traffic and exposure for a client's listing. 100%. Let that sink in, right? 100%. So when you think about, okay, I can quantifiably create more traffic. The first thing is, why can I create more traffic? What's the mechanism for creating more traffic? Private exclusive coming soon, digital ads, insights reports, and then how, right? Explaining it to the client. In the beginning of the presentation, I said communication is wealth, right? You'd have to be living under a rock if you haven't seen Robert's emails about private exclusives and the value of off-market inventory. Remember Lindsay Rothman's story yesterday, how she got an $8.8 million buyer through a private exclusive listing. 8.8, she made almost $250,000. So if you think about this, the question is, how can I unlock my promise, my potential? How do I actually take advantage of this? So let me walk you through the actual process. Now, one thing about private exclusives. Now, if some of you are in the same office, you're going to say, Chirag, this is not cool. But remember, you work for the seller, not your colleagues. So you start with private exclusives, right? In starting with private exclusives, it gives you an opportunity to test the market. Now, when people have aspirational prices, you could say, hey, look, we're going to try your price. If we're not able to get your price, it is much better for us to know up front and make the necessary adjustments. Or if it's just not right for you, it's not right for you. And it could be a make me move price, meaning if someone wants to pay this, you could sell your home. If not, what person really wants to have their house not feel like their home anymore and be show ready, meaning that somebody could call you within an hour and leave, right? We made a 14-page pre-marketing guide Danielle, Ann, and the rest of our clients actually use. And here's the process. Now, the first part is you have to obviously share the benefits of private exclusive. Now, you're going to start off by emailing and letting your colleagues know. Have a broker-only event. Then let your colleagues know if they have a client that's interested, they could bring them in. Now, mind you, this process that I'm sharing with you is for homes that you know are in great areas, that you know are going to get a lot of traffic. And ultimately, I'm sharing with you an auction style process to bid up and create record results for your clients that will cause them to just refer you to other people, because I guarantee you, no one else is doing this process. Step one, your colleagues, right? At the end of going through this first private exclusive phase, you tell them, I don't know if my client wants to go on the market, but if your client has an offer, I'm happy to present it. Share with them all the aspirational terms that your clients have and see if you get it. Present any offers that you have. Now, here's the key though. You can't do second showings, right? There are no second showings at this point because they really don't know. Now, your clients, some will want to do the second showing, some won't, but now you go to coming soon. This is where you could use a network tool, where you could use your MLS to see what are the agents that sell in the area. And I would directly be marketing to every agent during coming soon. And I would run a digital ad campaign where I'd spend $300 to $500 across Google, Facebook, and Instagram. Now you're getting as many more people to come in, right? Everyone could see the property once. Then launch time. You're going to take all of the information, all of the feedback, all of the improvements, and you're going to set up the first open house. Now, the key is 3 days before the open house, whether it's a door hanger, a personal note, an invitation, however you want to communicate, I would try to invite 30 to 50 neighbors and let them come to the house 30 to 45 minutes before, get some food, get some drinks. Then I'd invite every agent that did a showing, every client that came to see a showing, all of the people from the pre-marketing phase. And you let them all in the house at once. This is a day for second showings. We start taking offers the next day. Now, this is clear, concise, it's quantifiable, and it's easy for the client to understand. And let them know now we can adjust this based on your goals, your expectations, your timeline. This is the Compass advantage. Remember, we've now highlighted private exclusives, coming soons, digital ads, the insights reports, right? The value of our network and our relationships. And my last little caveat before we move forward is don't call people and say, can you give me feedback? Feedback on what? What does that even mean? you have to be very specific. In sales and marketing, they say measure what matters. Well, you need to know what you're measuring. Is it the way that the home showed? Is it the price? Is it the staging? Is it the condition? What are you asking feedback for? The more specific the feedback requests are, the better data you'll get to your clients and the better you'll be able to influence them through effective communication and positioning your conversation the right way. On a scale of 1 to 10, drop this in the Q&A and don't be shy. We like you to participate. How comfortable are you with explaining the benefits of private exclusives and Compass coming soon? And how comfortable are you with your pre-marketing skills? Let's see what we have. I never seen PE sell. Can you please run back through the process? 6, 9, 5, 4, 4, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 9. Ann Alvarez, they sold the duplex to a private exclusive. 5, 7, 7, 3. Not comfortable. Not with coming soon. 7, 7, 7, 8, 2. The person that said, I can always do better, you have the right mindset. 10 and 7. So another person, I've had good results from private exclusives in the past. I've also found that not many agents in our area are utilizing the Compass search and miss out on it. There you go. Look, when you see something is working for everyone else, the only question you should ask is, how can it work for me? Right? So here's the question. Again, going back to communication, will you commit to practicing and role playing and sharing the benefits of private exclusive and Compass coming soon listings? Yes or no? Right? Commit now to yourself, right? All right, now let's go through a crash course in objection handling. And objections are clarifying questions. You're not in a courtroom, I object. No, they're not objecting to you, your product, your service. In simple words, it means whatever you told them, they did not understand. So if you at the end share your commission to be 3% on the listing side, and it's $1 million house, and they're paying you $30,000, and they start like negotiating your commission, one, they just might be trying. Number two, they don't generally understand what they're getting in exchange for the money that they offer, right? If you went to the Holiday Inn and they told you a room was $500 a night, you'd be like, excuse me, what am I paying $500 for? That would literally be your question to them 90 out of 100 times. So the question is, when you go through objection handling and they get objections, again, communication, tonality matters. They're clarifying questions. And the key to handling all client objections is the 7 keys of effective conversations so that you're in alignment with your client's expectations for pricing or any other matter. I'll give you a simple example. John at XYZ, Chirag, we really like you and we really want to work with you, but John at Redfin said he would do it for 1% less, and we met with him yesterday. Are you willing to match that? Hey, I really appreciate what you're saying, and it sounds like you're trying to maximize the equity in your home. 100%. Yeah, Chirag, that's correct. I know your time is really valuable. So if you had met with John and you were happy with his marketing plan, his communication plan, and overall how he's going to maximize the equity in your home, what specifically had you call me over here today? And this is how the conversation starts. You see, we're not saying that, well, I have all this marketing and Redfin doesn't, and I have this Compass network. Like literally, that's going to be like, that's telling, explaining, and being combative. Remember, it's always their choice. Why did they choose to invest time with you? Well, we really wanted to see what you had to do. Was it different? And you're going to say, great. So let me ask you a question. How did you feel what we offer is different? And what specifically makes you want to work with us potentially over the other agent? And now the seller is going to start re-enrolling themselves back into working with you. Objection handling is easy because generally speaking, if they're giving you that objection, they're giving everybody else the objection. Again, communication is wealth. So how would you feel about listing presentations if you knew that every time you pitch, you could effectively overcome seller objections? Will you commit to using what you have learned to role play and addressing objections? Ladies and gentlemen, the objections don't really change. The only thing to change is you. As Jim Rohn says, for things to change for you, you have to change. So if you're not practicing this, if you don't know about tonality, the words, and how to effectively communicate, because look, this is one of the things that if you know that the objection comes about marketing or about price, you know now where to go back in your presentation and communicate more effectively up front. Better communication up front will eliminate back-end objections around price, marketing all the time, and commissions. So let's talk about the August 17th. Okay, I'm going to get very tactical again with all of you today. This is not going to be the same NAR crap that everyone has told you over and over again. I don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. But the reality is you have to hear it, right? It doesn't end. Now, here is the deal. Now is not the time to avoid these conversations with your sellers about buyer's agents. Commission, right? So if you think about this, what is a buyer's agent's commission? It is nothing more than nothing less than a sales incentive, right? Think about this. When you're talking to sellers about this, you want to be prepared to talk about what is a buyer's agent's commission and how does it influence the sale of a property. Now, I'll share with you today what I shared with our coaching clients this week. I would be going into the MLS right now for the price points you serve or as much data as you can get, because there's a good chance that come August 17th, historical data on what commissions were, they're going to be gone, right? So one of the things that we want to do in our AI course is show you how to analyze commissions, the sales prices, whether different fees. There's a whole different structure to this, but you need to understand how commission influences a sale. And really nothing more, nothing else. A buyer's agent's compensation is a sales incentive to both the buyer and the buyer's agent. Right. So I think one of the things that I want you to start out with is decoupling, right? You need to change your mindset on how you talk about what you do. Don't lose a listing fighting for buyer's agent's compensation. Remember key number 6, don't be attached to the outcome. So all of you write in the chat, so this is just in your brain. We did this on a call the other day. What do you charge? What is the investment for your services? 2, 2.5, 2.25, only on the listing side. So we're so commonly used to saying, I charge 5%, I charge 4%, I charge 6%. No, you don't. You charge the side of the commission that you're being paid exactly for the service that you offer. That's it. What do you charge? Oh, I charge 3%. And now I charge 3%, Amy. And now let's discuss what sales incentive that we want to offer both the buyer and the buyer's agent, if any. Let's discuss what sales incentive that we offer out both the buyer and the buyer's agent, if any. And Mr. and Mrs. Seller, whatever you do, I want you to know I support you 100%. Is that really that hard? No. When you know what to say and how to say it, everything gets easier. And the most important thing, if you go back to what we said in the beginning about commissions, don't avoid the conversation. Address the elephant in the room. You don't have to pay anything out. There are a lot of sellers out there. I feel like for us parents out there, they can be like our kids. You can tell them 100 times that something is in their benefit, but until it blows up in their face on their own accord, they're not going to do anything. And look, the reality is in some price points, it doesn't matter if there's a commission, a buyer's still going to come there. But then that becomes a different conversation track to say, okay, like my house is going to sell. Every home Chirag sold in my house in my neighborhood in 7 days or less. Why do I need to pay out a compensation? That totally makes sense. But actually don't have to pay out anything. So have you ever wondered what a buyer's agent does in exchange for the compensation they receive? Yeah, I really have wondered. And let me ask you one other question. How important is your timeline to you? And getting to blank when you go back to the pre-qualifying. You see how this all ties together? Now, I would sit there and I would push over my list, my internal buyer checklist, and I say, look, I apologize in advance. There's so many different things on here that are really more relevant to me than necessarily a buyer, but I just wanted to give you a moment to read this over and let me know what questions you have and what stands out. If anyone knew all of the things that a buyer's agent does, it's simple. Do you think someone with no to little real estate experience as a full-time job is able to do this? And are you willing to chance your timeline on that? And if you are, I'm okay too. Well, Chirag, can't you do both sides? See, there's only so many different ways. It's called conversation mapping. So here are the logistics around commissions. Seller paid closing costs is a concession. Financing of programs permit. Some programs do. Cash by the buyer, paid at closing, offer of compensation, a sales incentive, right? So there's no sales incentive, a fixed amount where it could be like 1% or a blanket dollar amount, an actual offer of compensation. And the fourth one is that people don't realize is whether they offered it or not, the buyer has every right to just build it into their offer as a point of negotiation. And they don't even have to call it a buyer's agent's commission. They could just call it a concession of 2, 2.5%, 3%. And some of them might just use it to offset some of their costs. At some point, buyers are going to have to pay for the service. A buyer's agent does a lot for somebody. Finding a home is easy. Buying a home is hard. If you think it's not hard, try doing it on your own. It is not a fun process, right? So think about this. So for all of you that says that the seller that thinks it doesn't matter, you need to know how to approach these conversations. I always say you lose more by not knowing what to say than you ever invest in knowing what to say. You have to get these talk tracks down, right? So if you think about the conversation, how many different ways can it go? There's 3 or 4 max, right? So there's buyer, there are agents that when they speak with their clients are opportunists, right? They really are looking at this a way to just cut the total amount they pay. Then there are other people that are just advocates, right? People that feel really good about the way it is, your referral, they like the way that you work, they're not going to do it, they support you in your work. And the other people are, they're information seekers. They want to understand both sides of the fence. Now, let me ask you this. We've gone through this whole entire process today. What would securing more listings and more referrals mean to your business and your life? I write down on a piece of paper in the chat, wherever it is, if I got one more listing, it's this much money. If it's one more listing a month, it's this much money. 3 more listings a quarter, 2 more listings. The numbers are all in your favor. And when you look at those numbers, the question becomes easy. Will you commit to these steps to getting to those closings? Will you commit? Look, you've invested the time over the last several days. I think undoubtedly you all know that if you do the work, you follow the processes that you learn today and the future, your business will grow. And so here's the thing. Are you ready to commit to this future together? Right? Look, if you've had a great experience over the last 3 days, I would love the opportunity to earn the right to be your business coach. I want to serve you further. I want you to have a great life and a great business. And ultimately, I want to make this easier for you, right? I told you in the beginning, this is why I unapologetically do what you do. So if you're interested in hearing about if this is a good fit for you, we have a lot of surprises. We also are going to go into more detail and share really with you how we can guarantee that over the next 4 months, we'll grow your business and position you not only to close out 2024 with momentum, but to set yourself up for the best 2025. So really the next step is how. How do I do this? Well, look, for the 300 plus people here, you've already committed to yourself and you're here, you're listening. So you've already taken the first step. Now, the next step is joining our revenue roadmap program, right? Who is revenue roadmap for? We already know that this is the culmination of all of the work we've done over the last 6 years exclusively for Compass agents. You can talk to hundreds of our clients around the country and think about all the people we talked about in the presentation. The cost of them not attending the program would have been tens of thousands of dollars because that's what they earned out of the program. So is this right for you? I always say coaching is the ability to see past yourself. If you can commit 30 minutes to an hour a week and you're willing to time block in your schedule and you want to meet people, connect and grow, and you have a desire for a better life and a better business through enhancing your client's experience, this is for you. Now, let me walk you through in detail these sections today, because this is really what's underneath the hood. So when we talk about pre-built systems, when you talk about how do I pre-qualify, there's a script. What do I put in my CRM? Here are all the steps, right? So you'll know how to walk into an appointment to know exactly how to pitch your client. You'll know exactly how to organize your CRM. You'll know how to use the materials. We have a listing presentation and 4 different customizable marketing plans and marketing calendars. So for those of you here that are going to commit, you're going to have something different than the 30,000 other Compass agents. Live role playing. We've talked, and I think we've drilled in, and I think you really believe how that communication is wealth. So twice a week with me, you can bring in your actual scenarios and I will role play them out with you, and we send them the scripts and the recordings after, so you'll never, ever be alone. It's built exclusively for Compass agents. We have integrated our entire sales system through Compass technology. A specific way to have collections so that your clients buy into it, a specific way to use business trackers so you can organize your entire client's experience in one place. So everything is integrated. It's the easy button. You don't have to think about anything. You don't need any technical experience. You just have to know to hit 4 or 5 buttons and you'll have the information you put it in. Our coaching sessions, I'm going to go through and show you some of the schedule, but these are masterclass style sessions that reinforce and show you exactly like we did today, tactically, the implementation. I don't tell you why you need to do it. I'll tell you what to do, how to do it, give you the scripts, the resources, and set you up for success. So if you think about just the home tour, how much would that make a difference in your business? If every time you just walk through a house, the client sitting down says, wow, Chirag, that is really great. Like, we really connected with you, and they already know that they want to hire you. Now, when I get through the AI portion, I'm talking about pre-made prompts, scripts, guide, workflows. There is not a human on earth that can sit here and go through this course and not save time and make more money. There has not been an AI course for Compass agents. We're making the first one, and we literally are giving it to you as a bonus. And the bonus will allow you, we're going to run the course maybe 1 or 2 other times this year, so you can attend it more than once and you have access to all the improvements. Our community is the heartbeat of Chirag Shah Coaching. There are 100+ referrals that are exchanged every single year within our community. There are role play groups, there are accountability groups, and it's peer-based learning. They're literally groups that take the information of what we've made and they help facilitate it and share it with all of you. So we know that people show up better for other people than they do themselves. Now, just take a look at this. This is literally our buyer sessions, the buyer consultation, the listing consultation. What is Med-C? This is how to understand what any client wants in 7 minutes or less. You know exactly how to sell people. You can go on the website and you can look at the sessions. These things are mapped out, the resources are done, the decks are made, and it's just ready for you to implement. Right? So when we start talking about resources, here's some of the scripts you get: dealing with media headlines, explaining the settlement, defining your value proposition, our custom-made buyer consultation that will be in marketing session with a conversation guide. You're going to be able to walk in and you're going to have any buyer that you want. So if you look through all of these resources, from listing presentations to iPad presentations, any of these one things will multiply the investment you make. And ultimately, look, it's going to give you what you want. It's more clients, more freedom, a system to lean into. Right? So here is one of the surprises. If you're watching this, do not drop off right now. We know that real estate is a personalized business. You're not always in front of a computer. You're not always in front of a desk. And people like, Chirag, this sounds really great in the session. I wish I could have those words, or I wish you could have guide me when I'm in my car right before a conversation. So check this out. Welcome to Chirag AI. Every single one of our clients will have access to our personalized coach. This AI bot has been trained on all of our resources, all of them. So whether you're in front of your computer, on the go, on your cell phone, if you have a question, it's like asking it to me personally. This can write emails for you. It can help you figure out what to say, how to demonstrate things, access to our resources. It's essentially 1,700 pieces of content learned, powered through artificial intelligence at your fingertips. We know that everyone can invest in a one-on-one coach, so why not have something that can answer every single question for you? And the coolest part about it is every 2 weeks, based on your feedback, we update Chirag AI. So I want to know every different scenario that you face. I make the training, it's updated. So this is real-time coaching, and this is just a bonus for being in our community. And by the way, there is nothing like this that exists in the world, and it's been trained on Compass tools, there's scripts, there's upcoming classes. You can get some inspiration, and you can also give your feedback directly in here. Tell me that if you had access to this, that you would not grow your business. It's impossible. So here's our AI course in a nutshell. How to use ChatGPT, Desk, and Voice with best practices. We're going to teach you how to build robust marketing campaigns, email campaigns, and ultimately how to have newsletters that people want to open in minutes a week. You can build out your whole social media marketing campaign, captions, images, all of it. Property descriptions. I have figured out the best prompts to use. How do you analyze market data? How do you analyze business spending? And ultimately, imagine what's going to be like having a guide on the best AI platforms. And the most important thing is done for you prompts. Could you imagine, like, the whole thing of ChatGPT is understanding how to prompt it and how to ask it. So instead of just teaching you a bunch of stuff and then asking you to figure it out, all of the prompts that are based on what we're teaching, they're already made for you. Whether it's for social media, analyzing data, writing property descriptions, all of the prompts that you need to set yourself up for success are done for you. So it's plug and play. And so it's a step-by-step system on how to be successful regardless of your expertise. Now, this slide, when you look at it, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is a lot of stuff. What you're probably feeling is that this is slightly overwhelming. And we need to realize it's okay. These are just some of the things that are inside our platform that you have access to. So we wanted to make this a no-brainer for everybody, right? Like I personally want to be able to help every single person that wants to be helped, right? And come August 17th, this is the biggest opportunity you have. So just ask yourself when you're sitting here in this moment, if I had Chirag in my pocket as an AI coach, I had all these resources, a community to collaborate with, grow with, and everything was done for me. And I was just able to plug and play into this system. And I was able to use AI in all aspects of my business and save time. How could my life and business not get any better? I've wanted to meet you where you are. I wanted to do as much of the work as I humanly could for all of you. And that's essentially what we've done today. Literally, we've done all of it. So, we can go through all the value, but it comes down to this. It's one payment upfront of $325, and then two more, or upfront, it's $900. If you're a team leader, we can train your entire staff and your team for one payment of $550 and then two more, or $1,500 upfront. We have tried to make this available to anybody. And we know that there's a lot of fear, doubt, worry, uncertainty, anxiety around these changes. But the most important thing is for the 200 plus people here, you've sat here all the way till this moment because you know in your gut that you need to do something. You know in your gut when you take action, that's where the magic happens. Remember, keep the promises that you make to yourself because there's magic in them. Build the life you deserve, unlock your promise. I can guarantee you that if you went through the AI training in the 3 months of our program and you actually attended the session and used our AI course, there is a 0% chance that your business won't grow. Zero. It's impossible. So, they say the difference between the life you have and the life you want is called decision. And in this moment, you have to make a decision. $10 a day is a Java Hoopa Hapa, Frappa thing. So it's not a matter of cost, I think, for anybody. It's a matter of your mindset. And I would say the greatest investment you can make in your life is you, right? So I'm going to stay on here to answer any questions. And look, this is the easy button. This is skipping the line. This is having something different than the other 30,000 agents at Compass. By the way, for the first 100 people that sign up, I have a really amazing bonus, and we have a bunch of surprise and delights on top of all of this. Look, I believe that the people that make the right decisions today are going to have so much momentum. See, what happens when everyone's stuck with fear and worry, like a lot of agents are in the country right now, and you're having momentum, you're going to go into next year, and next year will be the best year of your life, and this will be the best close to year. So look, the doors close August 1st. We are not opening the revenue roadmap up again till next year. That's it. So if you want all of those things that you shared, more free time, more listings, more buyer consultations, less stress, sign the QR code, the email to sign up. The link to sign up will also be in the email. Now I'm just going to stop my screen share, and I'm going to answer any questions, and I'll stay as long as needed to go through any and all questions about our program. Okay, will you have access to the resources after 12 weeks? Your access to our portal is good for the time of your membership. What I always tell people, if you want to stay for 12 weeks, that's great. I'll tell you this up front. Download every single resource onto your computer and just save it, right? So it's a simple way. You want to keep the resources, they're all downloadable. Will the AI work inside the Compass platform? So here's the thing. If the Compass platform, Susie, they have their own AI, right? So that is something different than all of the different stuff that I'm showing you. The stuff that I'm going to show you is powered by ChatGPT 4.0. So you can use your desktop as well as your cell phone in being able to be more productive. Chirag AI, I love this. So the AI access is through the end of the year. So we're going to run the course, I think, as far as I know right now, 2 times, right? So you can join it as many times as you run the course before the end of the year. All right, so I've seen this question more than once, right? Do we lose access after the 12 weeks? Our platform is a membership platform, right? So as long as you're a member, you'll have access to the resources, but everything on the platform is downloadable, right? So when I hear this question, what you're really thinking is, what happens if I need additional support? Well, as long as I do my job and you do your job, we'll continue working together, because as your business grows, you're going to continue to have more challenges, and we're going to be there to continue to support you. Yes. Okay. So the Chirag AI, it seems there's a lot of questions around this. Honestly, the goal of this was that you did not necessarily need a personal coach unless you have very specific situations, right? So as long as you're part of our coaching and you're part of Compass, you'll have Chirag AI. The program will be updated every 2 weeks. So no matter what is going on in part of your business, the new challenges, new objections, new situations, it's going to continue getting smarter. So there's literally a button in there that says give feedback. You can tell us what you want. And every 2 weeks, I sit here and I have an entire day planned to making updates by making new videos and uploading and training our chatbot. How directly involved in the training program? I'm the one. So on Mondays, there's 2 live role-playing sessions and a seller session. I do the sessions. On Tuesday, there is a buyer session and I do those sessions. Now you'll get some bonuses with some additional coaching that are in there, and we have other great coaches, but I am the face and the key trainer or the main trainer in the program. A husband and wife are 2 different people, right? You will want your own login so you can get in, and each one of you can have access to the AI. Are you available after the course ends months down the road? Pamela, can you give a little more context to your conversation? When does the live start part, right? So it starts in August, right? So we have most of our AI course done. Now we just need to make it look all pretty for you. All the content's made. So the second week of August, and right after Labor Day, we will start our buyer and seller session. So before August, once the doors close, which I believe is on August 1st, shortly after that, everyone will get a login and you'll get access to all of our materials, past recordings, and everything else. If you're a member, you don't need to do anything. You already have access to this. Han, all the sessions are just like this. Some will be on our stage, some will be in here, depending on the content. Gerard, it's 3 payments of $325 or 1 payment of $900. So is there another membership? So look, what we're essentially doing is we're giving you a monthly price based on our annual special, right? So if you want to continue there, you can literally just continue your membership. We'll have an annual membership that has new bonuses. So essentially speaking, if you're paying $325 a month and you like the monthly option, it's not going to go up. Okay, when does the 3 months start? Great question. September, October, November. August is a free month. So essentially, you'll have all of your coaching and business planning covered through December. What are the days of the weeks and times for the coaching sessions? Role play is 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific on Mondays, and our signature sessions are at 11:30 Eastern, Mondays and Tuesdays, and they're all recorded. Every session, Han, is recorded. All of the sessions that are in here are recorded. And for those of you who are sitting here on the fence, it's really amazing that our actual clients, like Elkin's on here, and several other people are asking, is this in addition to our annual membership? That just shows how committed they are and how well this actually works. So the answer, Elkin, is this is all part of your membership. If you're in our community, you're covered. You don't need to buy anything else. Yes, you can use marketing dollars. Just email me, Chirag@ChiragShahCoaching.com, and I will help you get set up. So the mastermind sessions, our recordings are available essentially till the doors close. Elkin's pumped up. I'm looking for coaching in addition to this on scaling my business with topics like hiring, organization. So we actually have, Laura, one of the things that we have is we have an executive leadership coach. And on Thursdays, this is exactly what he talks about. It was one of the surprise and delight bonuses. So yeah, there are topics on hiring, organization. Look, there's a very different skill between being a great agent and being a great team leader. So here's my question to all of you. And I said this in the beginning. I unapologetically believe in what we're doing here. As you can see, there's so many people on how this has worked well for. What would I have to do? Because there's 150 of you still here today. What would I have to do to get you to say yes? Because if you're listening now, you're still thinking, is this for me? Is this the right style? Will this grow my business? I personally guarantee if you sit through all of the sessions and you do the work, I can't do the work for you. It's impossible not for your business to grow. Possible. Elkin's on here. He's been in our community for several years, right? Elkin, Serena in New York City, send him an email. He'll tell you all about it. So who has more questions? Jason Lee just signed up. Thought it was a great value for my 7-person team. 100%. Jennifer Lay just signed up. Thank you so much. Now, look, Heather, it's 4 months, right? You're paying for 3 months, and we're giving you $1,000 AI course that you can take more than once for free as a bonus. So your coaching is covered for everyone on here, August, September, October, November, which also includes some bonus sessions that we're going to do around business planning from our stage. And we have something really great, obviously planned on getting our clients into 2025. Pamela's on board. Could you please repeat the times of the sessions? Yes. Where do you sign up? All right, let me put the QR code back up. There'll be an email to sign up as well, but here's the QR code. So the days and times, everything is recorded, Liliana. So it's Mondays, 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Now, that's for live role playing. Now, for the signature sessions, it's 11:30 Eastern. Everything is recorded. And then you have an additional opportunity to continue your learning with our role play groups. Now, these are peer-led groups of people who've been on our programs for years. Now, you literally get a meeting agenda. There are shares, there's call outs, there's recap notes. These groups share tons of referrals. There's so many opportunities to make a great ROI on your investment if you're willing to do the work. I'm totally considering trying to figure out how to get the most out of it due to limited time. That's really simple. Whoever the anonymous person is, sign up, send me an email, and I will send you a quick step-by-step process based on your business on how to get the most out of it. Remember, if you think about this, if you were putting money into the stock market, for every dollar you made, you got $2 back, you would do it all day long. The key is understanding where to spend the most time on. And the time really comes down to one simple thing. What is the difference that makes a difference? So what area of your business are you really looking to grow, right? Julie, if there's a way you could pin the link to sign up in the chat or somewhere on here, that would be really helpful. Or if you just go to the chiragshahevents.com/revenue-roadmap. I'm on this from my phone. Can you please send an email? Brendan, Colin, Julie, take a note. We'll send you an email. I'm in, I can't wait. Does your coaching help market yourself in business to get appointments? Yeah, 100%. There is this simple concept of how do you prospect your current database? And one of the things that we're going to talk about is how to use AI to get more out of what you have. Heather, I am a listing presentation wizard. What we talked about today, just scratch the surface. All of the sessions related to seller experience, buyer experience, prepare, pitch, execute, I will personally be teaching. 100%. Look, there's one thing that's really important to me. It's that every person that makes this investment in themselves and their time, that they get the most out of it. So I have this weird obsession with what people do after the coaching, right? All I care about is if you implement what you learned. And if you're having a hard time, there are groups of people to go to, the relationships that you could build. So for everybody, I personally teach 4 different sessions a week. 4. And if you don't have time, I tell everyone this all the time, look at the screen time on your phone. You will find the time because you're giving it to something else. Look, there are a lot of people that are talking about prospecting, right? So if you're looking at getting listing appointments, yes, are there specific sessions on prospecting? No. However, you could do all the prospecting in the world, but if you don't know how to prepare, pitch, and execute and communicate it effectively, no matter how much prospecting you do, you're not going to have a high conversion rate. So Carissa, number one, you can sign up and join our program. Number two, our community is filled with people that can share exactly what they're doing on getting more listing appointments. And it's just easy to connect people. I would say our Zoom chat box is like Tinder. We connect people that have specific needs. If you went into one of our coaching sessions, like, hey, I need help finding listing appointments, who has something that works, you'll get a whole group of people that volunteer, your fellow Compass colleagues, and they'll help you. Yes, after 90 days, you can continue. Our programs, our group programs have been going for 4 years. So it doesn't end. I'm not going anywhere. Look, the reality is I've been at Compass for 6 years. 6 years. I've worked here as an employee. I've been an agent myself before that, and I only coach Compass agents. So our entire ecosystem and everything we do is how to help you get the most out of your existing brokerage. We're the only Compass exclusive vendor like this, and we've been making trainings for 4 years that you all have access to. So if there's one thing that you know is I believe in innovation, growth, and staying ahead. Right. So when you look at Chirag AI with the collaboration of our community, it's going to be the most robust AI coach that you can ever have, because all you need to do is give me a scenario, Heather. I need then to record a video like this, and communications and scripts and dialogues and process is my jam to help all of you, right? So we upload it, the new scenarios in there. Every 2 weeks, you'll be getting an email like, here are the new releases in Chirag AI that can help you grow your business. So I'll ask you all this question again. There are 100 plus of you here. I want to partner with all of you. What is keeping you on the fence? Now, mind you, when you put something in the Q&A, I'm the only person that could see it. So you could submit it as anonymous. You can put your name on it. So it doesn't matter. I'll be out of town for September for 2 weeks. I want the most out of live training. Which dates you personally do the coaching and what times? Okay. If you're away, all the sessions are recorded. The live role playing is 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific on Monday, and 11:30 Eastern and 11:30 on Mondays and Tuesdays. So for those of you who are thinking, I'm away, I'm going to miss all of it. No, you're going to miss all of it if you don't sign up. You're going to miss the whole thing as opposed to a few sessions. And look, if you're away, I suggest you being away. And if it's late at night and everyone's sleeping and you want to just catch up on a recording, you can just simply just log in and listen to it. Or what I would do, Ann, is I would time block to catch up on the recordings before I left. All right, everybody. I'm still here. You're still here, which means you have more questions. So if anyone, I was like doing this towards the end. If anyone has a real life scenario that says, hey, Chirag, how does your coaching work? Would you like to show us? Give me a scenario and I'm happy to answer it so you can see how we're able to effectively walk people through the process. And again, if you have any questions, my personal email is chirag@chiragshahcoaching.com. I'm happy to answer any of them for you if you're stuck on the fence. So I'll leave this open for another minute. And if no one else has any questions, I appreciate your time. Nomita and 2 others raised their hand. Hold on. Can I mute people? If you have a question and you want me to unmute you, just raise your hand and I can unmute you here, it looks like. All right, it looks like everyone's good to go. So as always, with love in my heart, I love you all. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of your business, ultimately your life, and investing the time you have with us over the last several days. And I'm so excited to reach out and welcome all of you to join the community. So thank you, Megan, for the kind words. And look, the world is filled with opportunities. People are the strongest, most capable things on earth. Possibilities. The world is filled with possibilities. There's so many possibilities for you, and opportunities are everywhere. You have to believe in yourself, the possibilities for yourself, and undoubtedly know that all the opportunities you're looking for in your business are out there and they're just waiting for you to take. On that note, happy Thursday, everybody. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I love you all. Have a powerful day. And if you have any questions, Chirag at ChiragShahCoaching.com. And can't wait to get started with those of you in August. Bye, everybody.